Now we've talked about all different kind of OSs, that's Apple, iOS and Honeycomb, and Abhimanyu has two more to add to this list, don't you, Abhi?
That's right, Radhika. I've been playing around with two phones which, surprise, surprise, neither fit in that iOS bucket nor in Android. The first one which I've actually had the chance to play around for almost now a month or close to that is the Venue Pro from Dell. That's right, Dell, the PC maker, actually has a Windows phone out now. It's been in the market in the US for about a couple of months, but it's launched in India, and the good part is that the India versions, many of them are the new Windows Phone 7, which can do some cutting-edge technology, that is cut, copy, paste. But before I go further, let's quickly have a look at the specs of the Venue Pro from Dell.
Dell is back in the smartphone business with the new Windows Phone offering. Welcome Dell Venue Pro. The slider Venue Pro has a great exterior look and feel. At the back features a mesh shape, and up front has a 4.1-inch AMOLED touchscreen. The QWERTY slider keypad is well spaced. Venue Pro is powered by 1 GHz QSD 8250 Snapdragon processor with 512 MB RAM and runs on Windows OS. At the back, it features a 5-megapixel autofocus camera along with 8 GB of internal storage. GPS, FM radio and full flash support including playback come standard. Loaded with all the luxuries of owning a Windows phone, Dell Venue Pro comes with a price tag of 35,000 rupees.
Okay, as you saw in the specs, the big feature that really stands out is that screen. It's a gorgeous 4.1-inch screen, and of course it's got a slide-out keyboard from below as well for all you hardcore crackberries who still want a physical keyboard in spite of having a full-size touchscreen phone. The interface will take some time getting used to, but my point is that this is a pretty good interface for somebody who's going to move to their first smartphone on this platform. And the Xbox Live functionality is definitely a standout feature which the other platforms won't have. But net, the point is that I think Dell has so far done the best job of a Windows Phone 7 or a WP7 in the market, mainly because of the quality of the screen, the hardware. The only issue is that the hardware just doesn't seem that it's, all that, how would I say, built like a tank. The build is just a little suspect. I haven't got to throw it around for a while and see how it lasts. But speaking of phones that have great build, I got to get a sneak preview of the Nokia E7. Again, before I go any further, let's quickly look at the specs of that phone.
Nokia married the N8 and N900 and came up with a brilliant new smartphone, the E7. The slide-out QWERTY plus touchscreen business phone runs on Symbian 3 OS. At the front, it features a 4-inch AMOLED display and a VGA camera for video calls. Nokia E7 also features a 8-megapixel camera at the back for those super fine images. E7 has a good 16 GB internal memory and USB 2.0 connectivity. FM radio, HDMI port, 3G HSPA come standard. E7 is expected to hit the Indian shores by April. No official price confirmation, but sure makes a hot buy this year if priced under 30,000 rupees.
It looks kind of like the N8 with a sliding keyboard which slides out not like this in portrait mode but in landscape mode, as you can see. And the first thing that struck me when I opened it is, wow, the way that hinge opens out almost in a space age style. Fantastic hardware and build quality. It felt like a tank. It felt like even if I dropped it from a height of even 4 feet or 5 feet, nothing was going to happen to it. The screen, although it isn't HD, the resolution wasn't as fantastic as on other phones. Just the quality, the contrast, the colors, excellent. So the hardware on that phone was superb, even though the camera was only 8 megapixels and fixed autofocus and a few other things that the hardcore techies will crib about. So on the whole, very good, except for the fact that it's still running Nokia's old operating system and Symbian 3, the OS that the phone runs. Nobody even knows if it will last or whether there will be an E8 or whether Nokia will shut down Symbian now that they're tying up with Windows and Microsoft going forward. But my point is that the E7 is a great phone for anybody who wants to upgrade from previous Nokia E-series phones, but still doesn't have enough in it to get a BlackBerry user or an iPhone user or possibly even a really loyal Windows phone user to change. Great upgrade for communicator users or hardcore Nokia loyalists, but nothing really in it, beyond the point. It's got some good features like that USB on the go where you can plug a pen drive into it and transfer data. It's got the external SIM card slot, but some things are very non-Nokia like. It's almost as if they're copying Apple on not letting the user replaceable battery be there, which is a slight fail for a Nokia phone. So an okay balance, good new device from Nokia, but nothing stunning enough to make the BlackBerry users think twice. But what I wanted to ask all of you on the show, just struck me that if we could get that quality of hardware that Nokia phone has, so that superb hinge, keyboard, build quality, and put this operating system, which is far, far more evolved than Symbian for sure, if not out there with iOS and Android, those two would make, in my opinion, a pretty good combination. So Nokia hasn't come out with their first Windows Phone 7 yet, and my sense is that they're going to want to be more than just a hardware provider for Windows. But combined with their hardware and their software, what do you think the perfect mix of a Nokia phone running Windows would be?
What I expect in the wish list is that A, keep the screen, because the screen on the E7 is pretty good. It's a beautiful screen. Keep the keyboard. And also when I was at Nokia World, I saw a couple of nice language tools that Nokia was developing on. Also keep that in the user interface. But otherwise, Windows Phone 7 by itself also looks nice. So maybe a joint UI is not a bad idea at all. What do you think, Varun?
Well, there's really no point in having a wish list with these guys because they'll do exactly what they want to do. But I think what they need to do is combine the best efforts from both sides. Nokia is strong on mapping. They've had a really good OV map side that's been quite popular, whereas Windows Phone 7 is actually very, very weak on mapping. So I would expect those two to come together and obviously have a good mapping solution, which is probably going to be the only mapping solution comparable to Google Maps and worldwide. So that's the first part that I'm expecting. Then obviously comes all the services part and mail and everything else, which I think sort of at this point in time, Nokia has it better figured out than Microsoft does on Windows Phone 7. So I would expect some of those parts to flow in.
The way I would look at it, that I would certainly want to see certain elements of the Nokia phone, of Nokia also in Windows. For example, I think I would say the whole Nokia messaging system, the way SMS works, the way your inbox works on Nokia is really, really better. So I would say that maybe there would be some kind of a joint UI, but clearly I'm on an overall basis I'm looking forward to the new Windows Phone coming out of Nokia.
Now I haven't seen the E7, but I have seen the older Nokia models, and I'm right there with Abhimanyu and Radhika. They were bulletproof, and obviously that's what I would want to see on a touchscreen phone. And obviously a very, very good keypad, and yes, the all-important camera. There was a point in time when Nokia sold more than any camera in this world. So I want them to crack that with this Windows Phone. So there you go.
Alright, Abhi, so I'm guessing the wish list is there has to be a good keyboard, the screen has to be there, it has to be a really nice joint UI. Anything else that you want to add to the list?
Yeah, I think they should just come up with slightly better names because at some level Nokia sort of got to those 4-digit numbers which after a point of time nobody could keep track of. E-series, N-series, all nice, but I wouldn't want to remember WP7E65, it just becomes too much. So names could be better if that makes any difference. But I'd just like to say that I really like the Dell Venue Pro Windows Phone 7. I would probably recommend this to a sort of a newbie who's moving from a black and white Nokia or from a low-end sort of a phone to their first real smartphone. I think probably easier to use than Apple or Android for an absolute newbie. So this is definitely my pick this week.